Welcome back to the Art of Nonviolent Communication podcast. So, today I want to talk about step one of the process. So, welcome back. Welcome back. You. Welcome back to the Art of Welcome back to the Art of NVC podcast. Today I want to talk about the very first step in nonviolent communication. After you notice there's an issue, there's a problem, you want to bring attention to the issue so you can go to the other steps. Right? Step one is called the observable fact. It's not always so direct and simple, so let's go through it. Now, with every single step, the key thing is to not imply they are bad or wrong. Anytime you do that, it's a judgment. They're likely to get defensive and trigger, attack back. Everything is harder. It's completely unnecessary. It doesn't help anything to imply they're wrong or bad. So you want to avoid that in every step, especially the first step. So you want to bring up whatever the issue is in the cleanest, most non-judgmental, yet accurate and honest way. You always want to honor the truth. The truth is king always. The truth is not nice sometimes, can seem like that, but the truth is loving. And so we want to speak the truth of what we see, also the truth of how we feel and what we're experiencing. We don't want to add anything to it, just clean and simple. So sometimes step one is very obvious and relatively easy when you can literally see what the issue is and you can describe what you're seeing. I saw that the sink is full of dirty dishes. I saw that you returned my car that you loaned and it's on empty. So these are simple, right? That's pretty easy to understand. You don't add anything to it. You don't imply they're bad or wrong. Just stick to the facts. Sometimes it's not something you can see. Sometimes it's something they said, and they said it in a tone. Maybe it's the tone. Maybe they said thank you, but it was the tone that they said it in that that you did not like, and you're bothered and you want to talk about it. So I recommend really trying to sound natural. So if it's, say someone said, wow, thank you, and you're feeling frustrated because you made an honest gesture or of some sort, and now you want to talk about this. So you say, you could say, okay, I heard you say thank you. Okay, that works. You heard it. You didn't see it. It's not observable, but you heard it. So all your senses work. Or you could say, okay, I hear you. Even just, okay, I hear you. That works too. Because remember, step one is just about bringing attention to the subject so we know what we're talking about. And it doesn't always have to be, like I said, the looking exactly at it and describing it. Okay, when you say, I want you to sound natural. So if you speak like pure NVC, you're not going to sound natural. And it's okay. It's better than a lot of alternatives. But I prefer my students to sound natural. So I would not recommend saying, when I hear you say thank you, I feel, just because it's so stiff. I'd rather be like, okay, I hear you. Now I'm feeling, and go right to the feeling, which is the next step. So sometimes it's even more subtle. So many times when you're doing NVC, it's going to take several rounds. So maybe in the first round, you say something like, hey, I loaned you my car. It had a full tank of gas. When you brought it back, it was on empty. I'm feeling a little irritated because I did expect you to refill it. So I'm wondering, did you just forget to do that? Did it slip your mind, or did you bring it back on purpose like that because you didn't think it was necessary to refill it? Okay, that's NVC. You're asking a real question. It's probably not going to be fun. They probably don't want to hear this question, but you didn't imply they're wrong or bad. You owned your feelings, and you asked them. And so maybe they respond, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I just forgot. And then so now you're sitting there and you're still irritated. It's not solved. And so now you got to do another round of NVC. And this time, maybe you don't want to do the full, okay, I heard you say you forgot. That just feels so stiff. I would prefer you do the, okay, well, thanks for being honest. That's the first step. Thanks for being honest. Is that an observable fact? Well, this is where the art comes in, and this is where you got to remember what is the real purpose of step one. It's just to bring attention to the subject, and you want to continue it. And we're still talking about the car, and we're still talking to. So I like that. Okay, I appreciate you being honest, or okay, thanks for being willing to discuss this. Things like that. Then you go into the feeling. I'm still feeling a bit frustrated because I don't want this to happen again in the future. And I also would like the gas tank filled. Would you be willing to reimburse me for the gas? Go fill it up right now. What do you think? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You want to be able to just remember, you don't want to skip step one, but just know that there is some wiggle room. You don't always have to follow this rigid pattern that says, when I see you or when I heard this, there can be some little artistic choice. And now, and just remember, you never want to imply they're bad or wrong. Just don't do it. It feeds our ego, but it doesn't feed the connection between the two people. So I want to go to one of my students, Mary. She had a friend, like a long-term friend, family friend, and she had an incident where she knew there was some tension. She had texted her friend 10 or 11 times in the past several months, and her friend had not responded once. So Mary was feeling sad, upset, and confused. And there was a mutual friend of theirs who was having a birthday party, so they knew they were both going to see her. So she prepared. I helped her coach. I coached her to what she could do, how she could approach it. But then when she got there, she kind of improvised. Now what happened was, first she had to talk to her friend. She's like, hey, did our friend Anna, did she change her number? And their mutual friend was like, no, she didn't change her number. So what Mary did was when she went to approach the friend that she was having issues with, she set a little trap. And this is what I want to talk about. Do not set any traps. We don't need to set traps. We're not lawyers. That's what lawyers do. Lawyers will ask you a question that they know the answer to. In fact, they will only ask you questions they know the answer to because they're leading you down a path to make you look guilty or make someone else look guilty. They have an agenda. That's what their job is. What Mary did was she said, hey, did you change your number? Now, she asked that when she already knew that she didn't change her number. And so the person she was speaking to was already, and she might qualify as a sensitive person. They've had issues in the past. It just put her on guard. It was like she instantly was annoyed and frustrated and answered with a lot of attitude. Like, what? No. Why are you asking me that? Like, I didn't change my number. Why? Very bad footing to start out on. What I had coached Mary to do, and what I would like her to do, is just be honest and vulnerable. Hey, it's great, always great to do a preamble, especially when you're about to have a conversation that you know it may be intense. Like, just use all the steps. In a preamble, it's like, hey, it's been a long time. That's the observable fact. There's something I want to talk about that I've been feeling a little anxious about, and I just wanted to see if we could clear it up because I care about our friendship. Is now a good time to talk? Okay, so that's NVC. They hit the steps. So she said, and she'd probably be like, yeah, yes or no. Let's say she said yes. Then I wanted her to just get into the facts. Hey, well, I've texted you 10 or 11 times in the last 3 months. You haven't responded once. I'm feeling sad and confused because I value our friendship. And I'm just wondering, did I do something to upset you or offend you? Okay, right? That's real. That's hard to come back with a lot of attitude. That's probably going to proceed into a good, healthy, productive conversation. Instead, what she did was she opened up with, did you change your number? And then her friend just felt the trap and had way more attitude, and it did not end well. Nothing got settled. It was just very tense, and that's okay too, because at least she was trying and attempting. So my whole point of this part is, do not ask questions that you know the answer to, because you're not a lawyer, and it's going to feel to them, or they're going to suspect that you are probably setting them up for a trap They're going to be on guard and alert and most likely aggressive. All right. So that's the concept today. Let's rehash them. Observable fact. Rule number one: do not imply they're bad or wrong. Do not exaggerate. Okay. Don't be like you always, you never, or this is the worst. That doesn't help anything. Just stick to the facts. If you can see it, speak to it like you're a video camera stating the facts. If it's something else, just remember all you're doing is bringing attention to it. If it's something you heard, just say, okay, I hear you, or I heard you say this, or thanks for sharing, thanks for being willing to communicate. Those are great, useful phrases. And be honest to yourself, be honest to the situation, and do not set traps. Do not ask questions you already know the answer to. Do not try to have gotcha moments like, hey, you didn't change your number, so you have been ignoring me, right? All that's going to do is basically say, you're wrong and bad. You should change. I don't need to change. And I hope you feel bad for what you've done, right? We don't want to do that. We want to get to the core of the issue. We want to find sustainable win-win solutions. And it's very possible. You just follow the steps. So that's it for today. Art of NVC, signing out.